is for your semester exam. I will post today the internal syllabus. Today morning I had discussed with Aditya ma'am, and the syllabus will be module 1 and module 2. Okay. So up to digital signature, that will be your syllabus. So digital certificate and authentication is the part of module 3. Okay, so actually why we did not, the reason is that don't know next week what will happen, because you have 15, 16, 17, there is some interactions with the face-to-face interaction session is there, so we don't know that there will be any theory class or not. So that's why so up to module 1 and module 2, that is number theory, ciphertext, plain text to ciphertext conversion, DES, AES, that is symmetric key algorithm, DPLM and RSA, LGML, those things will be there in your internal exam. I will post it this thing in your Google Classroom by today. Okay, so let's get started for today's session. So today we are going to discuss a small topic, this SSL secure socket layer, that you probably know because SSL we had already discussed during our web technology class. So some of you have opted for web technology elective. So at that time we had discussed the SSL. Today also we are going to discuss the SSL, that is a secure socket layer protocol today. And actually I wanted to start authentication, but authentication is a big topic, so at least 1 hour will be 1 hour or 1.5 hour will be required to discuss the basic things of the authentication. So I will start authentication on the Monday class. So let's get started with the SSL. So before get started, so you know that computer network and cryptography are something related to each other. In the TCP/IP protocol shoot, if you can think that there are 5 layers are there. In case of OSI, there are 7 layers are there. And in case of TCP, there are 5 layers are there. So application, transport, internet, data link, and physical layer. If you consider OSI model, there are 7 layers are there: application, then presentation, then session, then transport, internet, data link, and physical layer. So now this cryptography is the part of something that belongs to the presentation layer. So here in TCP/IP protocol suite, it actually the everything that is encryption, decryption, it's MD5, message digest, everything lies inside the application layer. So this is the TCP/IP protocol suite. So that is the, you know, the hypertext transfer protocol, that is the HTTP, that mainly useful for opening the browser or interact with the server, client. Everything is done with the help of hypertext transfer protocol. So hypertext transfer protocol, emails, for the email we have learned SMTP protocol, that is simple mail transfer protocol. So every protocol related to the data transmission with a secure way is the part of the application layer. So application layer is here, which actually, once again, Amburish. So the TCP/IP protocol, that is the application, transport, internet, data link, and physical layers are there. But here the most important layer in cryptography is the application layer, because all the application programs like HTTP, for the SMTP we will going to use SMTP protocol, POP3 protocol. So all thing lies inside the application layer. So how these interactions are going on, as you know, this is a peer-to-peer network. TCP/IP is a peer-to-peer network. That is, whatever data you are transferring from the transport layer will be understood by the server-side transport layer. That means client-side transport layer is internally, hypothetically related with the client's server-side transport layer. That's why it is called peer-to-peer network. So let's see. So this is your client. So this is some intermediate nodes by which you are transferring data to the server. So this is your application layer. From the application layer, suppose you are typing one mail. So the mail goes to the transport layer, then network layer, then data link layer, then physical layer. Then through some communication link or intermediate nodes, it goes to the server side. So server side physical layer receives the data, that is in 010101 format. After that, that will get converted, that is data link layer, that is physical address added at the data link layer. Then at the network layer, the IP address is fetched. Then at the transport layer, some operations are going on as for the transport layer data. Then the data is goes to at the application layer. Then you can see the mail. So I am sending the mail. So I am the client, and these are the some intermediate server nodes. So by this you will get my mail here. So I am X, you are Y. So this is client, this is server. So this is that's why it is called peer-to-peer network. So the TCP follows the layered organization. So this is what I am telling about. So whatever data I am sending, that will be added some header at the transport layer. So this header will be understood by the receiver's header transport layer. That's why it is called layered architecture or peer-to-peer network. So application layer data, this L5 data only understood by the receiver side application layer. And so physical data, this data will be understood by only the physical layer of the receiver side or the server side. So this is called the layer organization or peer-to-peer data, peer-to-peer organization of present OSI model or TCP/IP model. So let's discuss secure socket layer. So today we are going to discuss a single protocol, a small topic today we are going to discuss, that is secure socket layer or SSL. SSL is very important because this is one internet protocol that helps us the secure exchange of data between the web server and the web browser. So SSL actually helps us for secure communication between the web server and the web browser. So here two topics we need to understand in case of SSL layer. That is one is basically confidentiality, and another is authentication. So secure socket layer provides us two types of security. One is confidentiality and authentication. As I discussed this thing earlier too, that authentication is the most high priority security issue. So because always you want to find out that with whom you are communicating or who had called you. So first you will check authentication. Suppose you are calling me and saying, ma'am, I am XYZ. So you are saying that I am XYZ. That means you are proving your authentication. So after that, I am going to discuss. Suppose one second year student asked discussing about cryptography. So that is the issue. Okay, so second year for second year students, I am discussing the software tools. For third year students, I am discussing DBMS or data structure. Data structure for second year. Third year for I am discussing DBMS. So this is the thing. Okay, so before communicating any data, first security principle is authentication. So first you are going to check that what data, with whom you are communicating, then the data part came. So authentication is the topmost security principle that is first checked. After that, you will going to do the integrity check or confidentiality check, non-repudiation check. That is the part of the second portion. So first is you have to do authentication. So that's why SSL layer sits between the extra layer that is added between the application layer and the transport layer. You can see from the diagram. See in the diagram, you can see this is a secure pipeline between the web server and web browser. So if you consider this is your client side, so server side will also contain 6 layers instead of 5 layers, because this is a layered architecture. That means peer-to-peer network. So all the layer, that is the SSL layer of this client side, will be understood by the SSL layer of the server side. So it provides a secure pipe between the web server and web browser. So from the 1994, this has been started. So since then, SSL has become world's most web security mechanisms. There are different types of versions are there, version 2, 3, 3.1. So nowadays, there is a version 3 is most popular among them. So just like in case of Windows, you have seen that in between Windows 7 and Windows 10, there is Windows Vista was also there, which is not very much famous. So that's why there is after version 2, after version 3, version 3.1 was there. But 3.1 was not that famous. So version 3 is normally used for the secure communication between the web browser and web server. So whatever data you are transferring from the application layer, it goes to the SSL layer. some security issues are added, and like in the header field, as you see. After that, it goes to the transport layer, then internet layer, then data link layer, and then physical layer. So from the client side physical layer, the data goes to the server side physical layer, and then it will be sent to the data link, then network, net transport, then SSL, and then application layer. So the position of SSL in TCP/IP protocol should in this way you can see. So this is your application layer. So SSL layer adds one header file, suppose SH. So after that, the data is transferred to physical layer and to the transmission medium. The data is also goes to the receiver side. So this is your physical layer. Then these are the data that they are going over, and then this SSL layer actually, whatever the suppose you have added some authentication, you have added some confidentiality issues, those are understood by the receiver side SSL layer. After that, it goes to the receiver side application layer. So this is the layered architecture of the TCP/IP protocol suite, where SSL layer sits between application layer and the transport layer. Next, let's discuss that how SSL works. I will send you the PPT of SSL, but I'm discussing with the help of the book, because at the end of the day, you have to go through from the book actually. So how SSL works? So SSL actually consists of three protocols: handshaking protocol, record protocol, and alert protocol. So there are three protocols are involved in case of SSL. One is handshaking protocol, second is record protocol, another is alert protocol. So actually, these three protocols are doing different kinds of operations during the total security providing issues. For example, handshaking protocol. So you know that handshaking is done for the authentication purpose. Record protocol is used for the confidentiality purpose. And what is the use of the alert protocol? Error handling. So if any kind of error occurs during the transmission, those things is handled by the alert protocol. So what is handshaking protocol? Handshaking protocol is used for the authentication purpose. Just like when you meet first time, you greet each other. When you meet someone, you will greet each other, or you will see your ID card to your to the particular person. So that is called handshaking. So simple, handshaking means shaking hands during the greetings. So same thing in case of SSL, client and server will handshake with each other, that we share the authentication like authentication keywords, authentication, for example, keys during this protocol, during this phase of the SSL. So handshaking protocol is mainly used for authentication purpose. So how the authentication protocol message contains? So it contains type, length, and content. So type is 1 byte, length actually 3 bytes, and content is 1 or more bytes. So these are the different types of messages will be there in case of SSL, that is transferred during the communication. So first is hello request, then client hello, server hello, certificate, server key exchange, certificate request, server hello done, certificate verify, client key exchange finish. So these are the some of the topics that we are going to discuss one by one. So what is handshaking protocol? So there are 4 phases of the handshaking protocol. First is you have to establish the security capabilities. Then server will authenticate and give some keys. Then client will authenticate itself and will do some key exchange. After that, it will finish. Okay, that means after authentication is done, they will close the handshaking protocol. So first thing is, so this is a big thing. So you have to understand, because SSL is very important. In a last module, you will definitely get question from the SSL, because SSL, there are 4-5 topics are there in the last module, like SSL. Then you have PGP, S-MIME, firewall, so the VPN. So there are very less topics are there in your last module. So therefore, SSL is the most important them. You can predict easily from the last module that you will get one question from firewall and one question from SSL. Okay, so go through these 2 topics positively from the last module. So establish security capabilities. So this is the first phase of the handshaking protocol, establish security capability. So how this thing actually executes? So please see the diagram. There are two-way communications are going on. Client will say client hello to the server, and server will send server hello to the client. That is web browser. So this hello contains different types of messages. First of all, the client sends version. Okay, so that what version of SSL they are using. Suppose there are 2-3 versions are available, that is version 2, version 3, version 3.1. So which version you are using, so that server will use the same version. Otherwise, there will be uh, confidentiality or algorithmic point of view, there will be some problem will occur. That's why both sides must agree same version. Suppose I am talking in English and you know Tamil, so there is a problem. So that is the version means that is same language we are talking. So this is the first thing during the handshaking we will do, that both sides will talk in same language. Same thing, that both sides will discuss the issues with the same version. Now random. So this field is useful for the later actual communication between the client and server. So one random number will be shared. One random number will be shared between the web browser and web server. So basically web browser will send one random number. After that, they will give one session ID that this is a non-zero value. So for example, that session will be valid for 15 minutes in that way. Last, they will share that when the key generation steps, which particular algorithm they are using, that is RSA or Diffie-Hellman, that what algorithm they are using for key generation purpose. Last is compression. So compression means there is a zip or RAR, what type of compression methods they are using, that will be also shared during the client hello. So this step one, client hello. So client will share which version they are using, which which cipher shoot they are using, like RSA, Diffie-Hellman, which compression method they are using, along with that session ID, and one random number will be shared with the server. So after receiving all these 5 messages, then server will do a server hello. So what server hello will do? So server now will use same version that is given by the client. After that, the random field that is received by the uh, client, another random number will be generated and sent to the client. Then it will session ID will be the same session ID that is given by the client. So it is the acknowledgement that I have received your session ID. Okay. So the same session ID client, the server will also send. This is kind of acknowledgement that I have received your session ID. And the server should that the same RSA, if a client is using RSA, server will also agree on using RSA. If client is using LGAML, client will also use LGAML. So this type of thing will happen. Then compression method, it contains the compression algorithm which the server selects from the list that is sent by the client. So both sides will agree. So this is the handshaking. So this is the handshaking. Both sides will use same version. Both sides will use same cryptographic algorithm. Both sides will use same compression algorithm. Both sides will use same session ID. So this is something is done by the hello. So I am saying hello, you are saying hello. So this hello means that we are using same type of algorithms, compression methods along with the versions. Okay. So after the hello is done, next is server authentication and key exchange. Now, next, so first time you have done the hello, I am saying hello and you are saying hello. So suppose we are using our phone, I am saying hello, you are saying hello. So hello means that both sides we are sharing the similar kinds of information. After that, I have to verify myself, and along with that, you have to verify yourself. For example, if I am calling you, so I will say, hello, I am Lupamudra De calling. And suppose if you are calling, you will say, hello, I am XYZ is calling. So this type of thing. So this is the authentication. So authentication, how it will be done? So server will give his certificate. Server will give the certificate, that is the digital certificate that we had discussed in our previous class. So digital certificate will be given to the client. Now the digital certificate will contain server side public key. Along with that, server will ask, please give me your certificate so that I can get your public key. So both sides, the public key will be received and the encryption process can be done at the in case of record protocol. So we are at the handshaking protocol. So we are actually acquiring both side public key. So server will share the certificate. So certificate actually contains the public key of the server. And client, what client, then server will also ask, please give your certificate. After that, the server will stop over here. Then what client will do? After receiving the request, client will also share the certificate. The certificate contains the client side key, and then remember in the first step we have shared some random number. So one random number will be encrypted by client and will be sent to the server. Then server will decrypt it with his private key and check that the certificate value is okay or not. That is the both side public key are okay or not. Okay. So is there any interaction happens during the communication or not? That will be checked during this phase. After that, they will do finish. So if everything is done properly, that both sides they have received version number, algorithm, compression method, along with the public key certificates, public key, and the public key is okay. So after that, both sides will finish this handshaking protocol. That means handshaking has been done properly. So after the handshaking is done, that is the next phase will get started. The next phase is record protocol. Record protocol. So what is the purpose of record protocol? To ensure confidentiality, to ensure integrity. So see, this is the operation of the record protocol. So this is the application layer. So it will be fragmented in some small portions, small blocks. After that, the same compression method that is shared between the client hello and the server hello, that compression method will be used to do the compression. After that, MAC, that is the MAC, that is one kind of message digest will be, message authentication code will be generated. Message authentication code will be generated and will be added over here. After that, it will be encrypted and one header will be added over here. So this is the purpose of record protocol. So we are ensuring integrity. Integrity is ensured with the help of MAC, that is the message authentication code. So both sides will generate the MAC and check that if the MAC value is same or not. And in case of confidentiality, why the key, that is the public key that you have shared during the communication, that public key will be used for encryption purpose and receiver will do the decryption. So this is how the confidentiality is achieved. So these are the explanation of the steps at the record protocol. So handshaking protocol is just for checking the version number. Along with that, the algorithm type, everything will be done. Then they will share their certificates and get the public key from the certificate. After that everything is done, you are directly going to the record protocol. So what is actually record protocol? Record protocol is mainly used for confidentiality and integrity. Now confidentiality is achieved for encryption by encryption, and integrity is achieved by the help of MAC, that is the message authentication code, a message digest. So when the data is received from the application layer, that will be fragmented into 2 to 3 hubs. After that, each fragmented parts will be compressed with the same compression algorithm. Then message digest will be generated and one header will be added, that the header contains that what type of algorithm you have used, MD5 or SHA1, what algorithm you have used, that thing. Then the MAC and data both are encrypted and the header is added. So after this thing, the data is transferred. Data is transferred through the receiver. Now when the receiver receives, receiver will do the just opposite thing. So from the header, it will get the information which algorithm used or some key related issue, they will decrypt, then generate the MAC of the data. If this MAC and the receiver side MAC is same, then they will say that the data is not tampered during the transmission. Then they will do the same algorithm they will use for decompression. Then all fragments will be added and the data will be received at the record protocol. So all these things is going on at the SSL layer. Mane transport layer theke when the data is received by the SSL layer, so the SSL layer will perform this operation. After that, the data will go to the application layer. Now last is our alert protocol. So when that is record protocol is used for confidentiality, integrity, handshaking protocol is used for authentication purpose. Now what is the use of the alert protocol? Alert protocol is mainly used to detect error. So what kind of error? For example, the both side MAC value that you have generated are wrong. That means integrity is violated. Data is tampered during the transmission. So that thing is a part of the alert protocol. So this type of message, if it arrives, so this thing is checked by the alert protocol, and then it will send one alert message that the data is tampered during the transmission. Please resend the data again. So this type of message. For example, you are sending one message and you didn't get the delivery report. That means the message is lost is somewhere. So this thing. Another kind of error is, for example, handshaking failure. Suppose you have given one certificate. I hope you can remember from your last class, the digital certificate. There is a valid from valid to section is there. So if you have shared one digital certificate where it is already lapsed, so it will generate one error that the public key is already expired. So this is kind of error that is handled by the alert protocol. So these are the different types of errors that are generated by the alert protocol. For example, no certificate. Suppose you have asked for a certificate, but you didn't receive an appropriate certificate. So then it will generate one error message, no certificate. Suppose the certificate that you have received is already corrupted. So that then at that time it will generate one alert message, bad certificate. So suppose you have received one certificate that you cannot open, that is different kinds of versions are there. So then you will generate that unsupported certificate. So for example, that is you have received one certificate that is already expired. So it will generate error certificate expired. An unspecified error occurred while processing the certificate, then it will generate the certificate unknown. So these are the some non-fatal errors you can see in case of alert protocol. So alert protocol is mainly used for any kind of error. So you will get different types of fatal errors, and these are examples of the non-fatal errors. So actually the alert message contains this type of, there is a byte 1, byte 2. So that is if it is the severity. So if it is warning, not error, then it will contain 1 byte. And if the error is fatal, then it will then this byte contains 2. Okay, so that's why these are called the fatal error and the non-fatal errors. So this is some warning messages there. So you can resend the message. So then these are called the non-fatal errors, and the fatal errors are that these are very error is very fatal. That is actual kind of error. We know the computer scientists that what is a warning and what is error, because we do lots of programs during our C and data structure lab, and we know that we don't use the deal with the warnings. We always deal with the errors. So something like that. So,
Ma'am, what is actually mean by fatal error?
A fatal error is that is when there is some failure occurs and you have to there is no way for resending. Okay, so there is like something like major kind of problem occur. For example, these are the examples of the fatal errors. For example, decompression failure. So both sides, suppose both side you have agreed to use .zip file, but after the handshaking is done, you have sent during the record protocol, you have used some kind of file format that is inappropriate. Okay, so like you did something like for example, integrity is lost, the data is tampered, so this kind of thing, that is the handshaking failure. Decompression failure, that is the message is received without correct MAC, so message authentication is wrong, data is tampered during the transmission. So that means some hacker is sitting between you and the receiver. So that's why it is called the fatal error. So in that case, what you need to do, you need to start from the beginning. There is no issue of resending. You have to start from the beginning. Okay. And you have to use more complicated keys and cryptography mechanisms, etc., etc. So these are called fatal errors. And non-fatal errors is that suppose I have sent a wrong meeting ID. When I am trying to log in, I could not. So I am sending, please don't join there, join here. So I am resending the message. So this is called the non-fatal errors. Okay. So where you can do the operation by just resending. Suppose you have sent one certificate, that is the extension should be .cer, but you say the certificate format is .xyz. For example, we are using Windows, you are using Linux. I am sending one file and you cannot open, and you are sending, please send me the file format with .docx. Otherwise, I cannot open the file. So this is a resending. So non-fatal errors are something that can be handled with the help of just resending the data. Okay, so this is the SSL. So all these three things are the part of the SSL layer that actually sits between the application layer and the transport layer. So mainly the two things, alert protocol is important, but most important is actually the handshaking, where you are actually sharing the certificates with each other. And another part is important, that is the confidentiality that will be achieved, and integrity that will be achieved with the help of the message authentication code. So please go through it if you want. That is sometimes that is the overflow conditions, attacks are happen in SSL. Buffer overflow attacks are happen on SSL because when it is designed to hold a particular data, but when the buffers are created to contain actually fixed amount of data, but when it contains some extra information, then the overflow condition occur. So these things are, if you want, you can go through it. So next class we are going to discuss that is TSL, TLS, that is the transport layer security. Then the HTTP AS and HTTP HTTP timestamping protocol. So those things are already there. SET is not there. So this thing we are going to discuss in our next class.